On today's KMNH Kids Making the News Happen, Emmy learns how to juggle with Tom Sparough, the Northside space painter. Plus, water on wheels. Happens water contraption helps make it safe for teens to water the plants on Hamilton Avenue. All this and news from around the world, so stop, watch, and share KMNH.
Welcome to KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.
When Happens teams received the contact from the Northside Business Association to plant and maintain the flowers on Hamilton Avenue, the biggest challenge was to figure out how to keep the plants watered in the warm summer sun. It had to be a safe and environmentally friendly way to water. We aren't old enough to drive a watering truck, and a garden hose just wasn't going to reach the 29 planters up and down Hamilton Avenue. So Happen developed Water on Wheels. It's a safe and efficient way for us to complete our Learn and Earn summer project, keeping Hamilton Avenue planters alive and well. And we take pride in these planters because all the flowers were grown from seed by Happen. The vines were all cuttings from last year that we kept growing through the winter, and even the cannas are from bulbs that we harvested last year and kept over the winter months. There's been a lot of effort over the last year that has gone into the planters, and they need lots of water to keep growing. Water on Wheels is a 45-gallon tank mounted on a four-wheel dolly. It is both a hand pump and now a rechargeable electric pump to keep the planters watered every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There are 7 Northside teens who participate in the program, and they not only water, but help maintain the plants by trimming, deadheading, and making sure the plants are staying healthy. It's not easy work, but it's rewarding, and not just by getting paid, but seeing how our efforts can really make a difference in our neighborhood. Remember Happen's theme: community is not just where you live, but how you live with other people.
Do you ever want to just find some peace? We have all probably said it, but where can you go to find it? Where else but a peace pole? May peace prevail on earth is the theme of peace poles located all over the world. They are usually white with the phrase written in different languages on all 4 sides. Peace poles create a space for individuals to focus on peace. It's a place to meditate, find resolution, or just rest your mind. Several years ago, Happen worked with students from Chase Elementary School to learn about peace poles, design their own piece, and install it in front of the school. This last week, Happen teens repainted the peace pole and planted flowers for the new school year as a welcome to new students and the new Chase Elementary School principal, Miss Ashley Jones. Ms. Jones has even asked teachers to meet around the peace pole as one of the ways to start the new school year.
Our Northside neighborhood is full of creative and talented people. There are artists, actors, musicians, chefs, designers, and a lot more. But not every neighborhood has a professional juggler. Tom Sparough is a Northside neighbor and professional juggler, and I had the chance to learn about juggling, as you will see later in the segment. He even tried to teach me how to juggle. Mr. Sparough started juggling when he was around my age.
When I was 15, my brother learned how to juggle, and he showed me how, but I actually didn't learn from his instructions. But that same year, one of my friends learned to juggle, and he got really good at teaching people to juggle, and he had this like step-by-step method where he starts with 1 ball and then moves on to 2 and then up to 3. And from his instructions I learned. So I was between my freshman and sophomore year in high school when I learned.
I learned that juggling is all about challenging yourself.
I think the most important part of juggling is a question. And the question is, I wonder if I could. And it drives all of juggling. Like, I wonder if I could throw 1 ball up, snap my fingers, and still catch the ball. I wonder if I could throw 2 balls up at the same time, clap my hands, and catch both the balls. I wonder if I could throw 2 balls behind my shoulders and still catch them. I wonder if I could juggle 3 balls or 4 balls, or could I do it in a circle? Could I cross them? Could I catch them with a twisted arm catch? It's the question that every juggler asks. I wonder if I could. And when we can't do it, that's when the game is on. That's when it's most fun, because you, as a juggler, are driven to learn how to do it.
His professional juggling career was sparked by a juggling performance in his high school play.
I was natural at juggling and performing, so in high school, after performing in a play, There was a parent who saw the play and called up the school and asked for the juggler's information because she had a 5-year-old son who was having a birthday party and wanted a juggler.
And for his first professional juggling performance, he was paid in not just money, but cake too.
And so at the time, we were 17 years old, and we got paid to go to a birthday party, eat all the cake we could, and have little kids applaud for us. We made like 5 times as much if we had a regular job and were working an hourly wage. So we got a ridiculous amount of money, a ridiculous amount of cake, and had a ridiculous amount of fun. And we're like, I could do this more often.
Even with years of experience, Mr. Sparough believes in lots of practice and rehearsal, which helps lead to new juggling acts, moves, and most of all, stories.
And I pair the juggling with the story or the imagery.
You see, Mr. Sparough is not just a juggler. He's a storyteller bringing motivational and educational stories to life through his passion for juggling.
Yes, we're all jugglers. We have lots of things to keep track of. And so here's how you look when you're on an easy day. And then I'll juggle 3 things. And that's a metaphor for how people have to keep track of their things in their life.
The act of juggling is amazing to everyone, which means Mr. Sparough brings his juggling skills and stories to a lot of people.
So sometimes I work for daycare, sometimes I work for churches, sometimes I work for community picnics, sometimes I work for corporate events. Each one I have to pick what pieces will work for the audience, and then I go through those and sometimes create new ones for a special request.
He told me that juggling is really based on a curiosity of what you can do.
Something I'd like everybody to know is that there's really 2 aspects of juggling. And one is the juggling itself. And that is for everybody. If you enjoy those kinds of conquests of can I keep 3 things moving or 4 things, or do 2 things creatively, or what's a new trick that maybe no one has ever done before. I used to look at like a statue and go by the statue and think no one's ever like sat on the statue and juggled before. I'm doing something for the first time ever in the history of the world.
He also said that anyone, even me, can start to juggle and maybe even perform.
But a lot of jugglers think they have to be like a really great juggler in order to perform, but they're separate. You can be a tremendous performer and a terrible juggler, and people will love you. They're separate skills. So if you like to juggle a little bit and you like performing, you can do it now. You can do it immediately. You don't have to wait till you're really good. You can get started because performing and juggling are not the same.
He suggests starting out slow and simple and then adding to your performances.
So one of the things I love to do is encourage people to try juggling. One thing that people can juggle with is a sheet of toilet paper. And just trying a trick like passing it from one hand to the other.
So I gave it a try.
This one. Yeah. This one. Throw them a little bit higher than your head.
Make sure to check out his
Good.
website
Now
and try your hand at juggling.
I have a website, spacepainter.com. That's one word, space like outer space, painter like Rembrandt, spacepainter.com. And if people go to that site, they can see my work, they can look at my videos, they could contact me. So check that out, spacepainter.com.
Thanks for watching KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen. Make sure to tune in next week for a report of the new restaurant called Gulo Street. Plus, meet Miss Jones, the new principal of Chase Elementary School. Always remember to stop, watch, and share KMNH, Kids Making the News Happen.